Are you sitting slouched at your desk or on a sofa, a settee, a chair or whatever right now? Well, what if I told you that sitting up straight has got a host of benefits? Let's have a look at what they are and how to achieve. Why? Because sitting up straight not only improves your health, but it can boost your confidence and your productivity. So in this video, I'll share the benefits of sitting up straight and how it can make a massive difference to how you feel day to day. Let's dive in. We spend so much time sitting these days, whether at a desk here in the office or at home, in a car, on public transport, or just spending our time sitting on a sofa or a settee in the evening. And most of us aren't sitting the way we should be. We spend our time slouching, which might feel comfortable, but it comes with a whole host of problems. And if you're going to spend 8 hours at a desk, that's a significant issue. So if that's you, have a look in the link down below. You'll find a link to my Desk Posture Made Easy course, which is currently free. There's a no-brainer. It's packed with easy to follow tips about how to get your sitting posture and your desk environment just right to make your day much more comfortable. So let's talk about the main benefits of sitting up straight. Firstly, it improves your posture. We're all about posture. Makes a massive difference to how you feel and to how you look. When you sit up well, your spine aligns naturally. A really nice curve in there. Let's talk about this for a second. Sitting up straight is not, and standing up straight is not, putting yourself into a ramrod position and straightening your spine as much as possible. This causes tension and pulls you down into yourself, which over time can be tiring, leading to a slump, or causing excess stiffness and tension in you, which can cause pain over time. So really what we want to be doing is sitting in a nice, upright, neutral, balanced position. And this is going to help you avoid tech neck, rounded shoulders and a hunched over back as you get older. I've yet to meet anyone in their 80s who says, I'm really glad I ignored my posture. Not only that, but having good posture really boosts your confidence. It makes such a difference to how you feel and how you look. People can see it in you. You've all seen those sprightly older people walking along with great posture and great confidence, and we think, wow, I really want to be like them when we're old. Equally, we've seen people who are really struggling with their posture through no fault of their own, because they spent a lot of time working hard, sitting at desks, typing away on computers or whatever it is they might be doing. And the simple changes that you can make now are going to make all the difference, not only in the short term, but also in the long term too. And what about our breathing and our digestion? Sitting up straight and sitting well and standing well gives much more space for your lungs to breathe freely, so you feel less stressed. And it also helps with your digestion as well, because everything isn't compacted and pushed down into a really poor posture. And don't forget back pain. Gosh, the impact of poor posture on your poor back. Try it now. Give yourself the worst posture you can. See how it feels. Well, back pain, posture go hand in hand. And for those of you who want to get ahead in life, good posture helps you boost your productivity because you're able to get more done. You're less tired, you're less fatigued, you're feeling better, which means that you're able to work better, play better. Even esports people who game for a living, really pay attention to how they're sitting because it makes a big difference to how they play at the end of the day. So you may or may not be a professional esports player, but how you sit has got a whole range of benefits that you can apply. So let's have a look at how to sit up straight. It should come as no surprise that the foundation for good sitting posture is a chair. Now here I've got no arms on this chair so that I can show you easily. A lot of you will have arms on your chair and we'll deal with that in a minute too. So ideally when you're sitting, you want to make sure that your hips here are a little bit height above your knees, or about the same height. I like it just a little bit above your knees, with your feet down there flat on the floor. And you want to have good support for your back. Our lumbar support is particularly important here. So if you have a chair, if you're using a kitchen chair without lumbar support, see if you can fix something up with a cushion or padding to get some support for your lumbar there, so that you've got that rest, so that you can take some of the weight off your spine with a tiny, tiny little lean when we're sitting. If you're sitting without a chair back, It's easy to sit up straight like this for short periods of time, but if you're slumping, it gets really tiring, and over a while, that's going to leave you short of breath and feeling tense and awful too. What about backs and shoulders? Well, you can see here, if you sit up straight, that the shoulders just rest nicely in line with the rest of you. You don't want your shoulders round forwards, which is why your desk setup over there is so important for keeping your posture well. So ideally, ears here tracking over your shoulders and then tracking over your hips. You can see that from various angles there. You don't want to be trying to sit up really stiff like this. You can hear the effort that I'm putting into that. I'm so tired from sitting up straight, I'm just going to have to, you guessed it, slump. So balancing is key, and that's where our sitting bones come in. We have two bones here under our derriere which support us, and if they're in the right place, they're going to support your pelvis, to support your spine, to support your head on your neck. That course I mentioned earlier goes into depth about that too. So now that you're sitting well, let's look at some of the things that are going to help maintain that. Notice here that the screen height here around the top of the screen is around eye height. You don't want your screen way down there, or heaven forbid using a laptop flat on a desk without raising it and using a separate keyboard and mouse. So eye level's about here, because we hate to look down without pulling down, and if your screen's too high, we tend to do this to look up, and this can cause us problems too. And you want your keyboard and your mouse nice and close to you, with the B from the keyboard near your belly button and your mouse nice and easy to reach to too. This is going to help you support your posture. So if your environment is poor, it's going to be really difficult for you to maintain good posture happily throughout the day. And even if you do have good posture, it's really important to take regular breaks throughout the day. For your eyes, try to look away 20 seconds or so every 20 minutes. And try and get up and out of your chair if you can every 30 to 60 minutes. If you've got a standing desk, that's even better. You can raise and lower that to make some variety throughout your day. The worst thing you want to do is to sit there for hours on end, or to stand there for hours on end. Here are 3 common mistakes that I see people making when I give them their ergonomic assessments. The first one, most commonly, is perching on the front of the chair, so there's no support at all here. You'll see, if you're working in an office, so many people sat around working and they're just slumped forwards over their keyboard here with no support for their back at all. Here's the second one, sitting with your head pulled forwards like this, which is going to give you a hump here at the back of the neck, at the back of the shoulders. We call this tech neck nowadays. Often it's a result of a poorly set up screen, being in the wrong place, or maybe your eyesight isn't so good. So if you wear glasses for work, to use the screen, make sure that they're up to date and working really well. I changed mine recently, tiny little change in the prescription. The optician said, you don't really need to worry about it, it's a tiny change, but the difference to me improving my glasses meant that there's no tendency to want to try to pull forwards and peer into your screen. You can sit back quite happily and be much more comfortable too. And finally, third most common problem, can you see what I'm doing here? Wrapping my legs around each other underneath, which tends to pull you down into yourself. It tends to cause you to compress. So ideally, you want your feet nicely flat on the floor so that they're supporting you in this nice upright position. And if your feet can't meet the floor, then grab something like, I'll grab one now, a footrest, which means that your feet are nicely supported. Makes all the difference. So I hope I've persuaded you, sitting up straight in a nice balanced and neutral posture isn't just about sitting up straight and how you look. It's about how you feel, it's about how productive you are at the end of the day. It's about your long-term health, and it's about you when you're 60, 70, 80. Who do you want to be when you're at that age? Sitting well and standing well will help you be the person that you want to be. So let's take a moment now, adjust your posture so you're sitting comfortably. Rewind and watch this video if it helps to go through some of those items. Your posture and your health will thank me, trust me. And if you want to take your posture to the next level, skip on over to posturestars.com, where we have some free courses to help you in depth go through those problems. And coming up in the next video, we have one of my popular videos, 3 top tips for reading posture. If you find reading uncomfortable, or if you read books, or you sit at a desk using your tablet, you're going to find this one really useful too. See you in the next video.